Hello again. It is time for us to talk about math lesson 93. And in math lesson 93, boys and girls, we are going to talk about estimating, division, and multiplication problems. So for estimating, we're going to do lots of rounding, which we've done before. That part's not new. And one of the really handy things about estimating is it can give us a good idea if our answer to a problem is reasonable or not. And if we come up with an answer that just isn't reasonable, then that's a good clue that we need to recheck our work. So I will demonstrate that for you today. Another time in real life that estimating can be really handy is if you're just trying to figure out how much something costs, or if you have enough money for it when you're out shopping, you may estimate really quickly. Okay, if I need to buy 3 of these, I have this much money and this is what it costs. You can round, estimate, and get a good idea. So let me show you what I mean. For example, if Jim was multiplying 43 times 29 and he came up with the answer 203, we're going to check it to see if his answer is reasonable. So when we estimate, we are going to round. Typically, when we're estimating for calculation purposes, we don't round a single digit number at all. We just leave that the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we would just leave alone. But when we get to 2, 3, or 4 digit numbers or higher, we're going to round. So if we're looking at a 2-digit number, we're going to round it to the tens place. If we're looking at a 3-digit number, we usually round to the hundreds place. And that's often the case as well for 4 or higher. We may just round to the hundreds place to kind of give us a good estimate. So if we're looking at 43, we are going to round. Remember, when we round, we look to the right. Does the number on the right 5 or greater? If it's 5 or greater, we go up. If it's not, we stay the same. So we have 43. Look to the right to 3. Is 3 5 or greater? No. So our 4 is going to stay the same. And then our 3 just becomes a 0. So we're rounding to 40. Now 29. We look to the right. Is 9 5 or greater? It is. So our 2 is going to go up to 30. So to estimate, we're going to multiply 40 times 30 to see if Jim's answer is reasonable. So we already know, because we've been doing this, did this in class before we started doing the stay-at-home thing, that we could just multiply 4 times 3, know that that's 12, and then add back in the number of zeros in our problem. So if our estimate is 1,200, is his answer of 203 reasonable? Is it close? Is that close to this number? Not at all. Jim made a mistake. He's going to need to do it again, because 1,200 and 203 are not close. A lot of times in our math book, and starting on our assignment today, they'll ask you to estimate the answer and then to solve for the actual. So we've estimated. Now we're going to go back and solve for the actual. So we're going to actually multiply 43 times 29. So to do that, I'm going to erase these parts so we don't need it anymore. We're going to multiply 9 times 3, which we know is 27. Put down my 7, carry my 2. My next step is going to multiply my 9 times my 4. You know 9 times 4 is 36. Then I need to add what I carried. 36 plus 2 is 38. Write that down. Okay, I finished my 9. I'm moving over to my 2, which is in the tens place, so I need to remember my placeholder, 0 down here. Now I go 2 times 3 is 6. Then 2 times 4 is 8. I have found my product. Now I need to add them together to find my sum. 7 plus 0 is 7. 8 plus 6 is 14. Put down my 4. Carry my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1,247 is the actual. Is 1,200 close to 1,247? Yes, it is. So that would be a reasonable answer. So we did it correctly. One of the things I want you to make sure, remember to do when you're multiplying today, third graders, is to keep your digits lined up. If you keep them lined up and use the grid lines on your paper, your life will be so much easier. So just get in the habit of doing that, and then it'll be easy to keep your addition straight. Okay, so we did that one. Now let's go ahead and look at 38 times 53. For this one, I want you to go ahead and pause the camera or your video, pause your video, and try to estimate 38 times 53 on your dry erase board. And then after you've done that, come back and see if you got the same answer that I did. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you what I got for estimating 38 times 53. For 38, I'm going to come to my tens, look next door to my ones. Is 8 5 or greater? It is. I'm going to round up to 40. Then for 53, look next door, is 3, 5 or greater? No, gonna stay the same at 50. Gonna multiply, for my estimate, again, multiply 40 times 50. Just ignore my zeros for a few minutes. 4 times 5, you all know, is 20. Then I need to add back in the zeros. I have 1, 2 zeros in my problem, so I need to add to my answer. There's already a 0 here, but I still need to add 2 for up there. So my estimate is 2,000. Okay? If you got 2,000, you are right. Now let's solve for the actual. So again, I want you to go ahead and pause your video, solve, and then come back and check your solution with mine and see if you got the same thing. Okay, solving the actual answer of 38 times 53. 3 times 8, 24. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Okay, moving on, multiply by 5. I need my placeholder 0 right here, keeping my numbers nice and lined up. 5 times 8 is 40. Put down my 0, carry my 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 more is 19. Now I need to add. 4 plus 0 is 4, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 9 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. My actual is 2014. Are 2014 and 2000 close? They are fairly close, so we would say that yes, this answer is reasonable. Okay, so we estimated, we found our estimate, and we found our actual. Okay, now I would like to demonstrate with division for you, which is very similar to what we've been doing, but of course we're going to divide instead of multiply. So for this problem, we have 1,845 divided by 6. And now I told you oftentimes when we estimate with 4-digit numbers, we're just going to round to the nearest tens or hundreds. So we're going to go ahead and round this to the nearest hundreds. So this is our ones, tens, hundreds place. We're going to round to the nearest 100. I'm going to look next door. Next door to my 8, I have a 4. Is 4 5 or greater? No. So my 8 is going to stay the same, and everything to the left of it stays the same. So I have 1, 8, and then everything to the right, I am rounding 0, 0. So I have 1,800 divided by single digit numbers. I told you we usually just leave the same, so we're going to keep our 6 just like it is. Divided by 6 equals. Okay, now to divide this, we're going to go ahead and put it in brackets, unless you want to do this in your head, and some of you would probably going to be able to do that quite easily. But we're going to go ahead and set it up like this. Can I do 1 divided by 6? No. So I'm going to do 18 divided by 6, which you all know is 3. Because I took it into the 18, I write my 3 directly above my 8. So I divided, multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract, I get 0. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Got a 0 to bring down. Using my arrow to keep it lined up. 0 divided by 6 is 0. Divide, multiply. 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract, another 0. Is there anything to bring down? Why, yes, there is. Bring down that 0 right there. I now have 0 divided by 6. You already know that's 0. 0 times 6 is 0. I subtract to get another 0. Is there more to bring down? No. Is there a remainder? No. Our estimate to 1,800 divided by 6 is 300. So that's our estimate. Now, if we're going to solve for our actual, we're going to go back and use our actual starting problem. So that's 1,845 divided by 6. Okay, so can't do 1 divided by 6, but I can do 18 divided by 6, which you guys know is 3. Multiply, 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract, 0. Bring down my 4. 4 divided by 6. 1 times 6 is 6, so it's going to have to be 0. 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract, I get 4. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. I've got a 5 to bring down. I now have 45 divided by 6. 6 times 7 we know is 42. I think that's about as high as we're going to get. So 7 times 6 is 42. I subtract, I get 3. Is there more to bring down? No. So this becomes my remainder. 307 remainder 3. Is 307 close to 300? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's how we do that. I think I'd like to show, well, yeah, I'm going to show you one more quick division problem just to make sure that you're good on that, and then I'm going to let you go. So I'd like to do 1,845 divided, let's do a different number. Let's do, let's see, 21,033 divided by 9. Okay, so that's our division problem. So to estimate, we're going to come here, we're going to look at this number, we're going to say, okay, I'm going to round to the nearest hundreds place because I can easily divide hundreds by a 9. So my hundreds is right here. Look, next door is 3, 5 or greater. No, so it's going to be 2,100 divided by single digit 9 stays the same. Okay. So I have 22 divided by 9, can't do it. I'm going to take 21 divided by 9. You know that 9 times 2 is 18, so we're going to try that. 21 minus 18 is 3. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Now have 30 divided by 9. I know that 9 times 3 is 27. Whoops. So I'm going to subtract, 10 minus 3, or 10 minus 7 is 3. So more to bring down, why yes, another 0. 30 divided by 9. 3 again, 27. Subtract to get 3, nothing more to bring down. So my estimate is going to be around 233. Okay, 233 remainder 3 is my estimate. Now if I'm going to find my actual, I'm going to go back and use my actual problem, 2133 divided by 9. 2 divided by 9, can't do it. 21 divided by 9, 9 times 2 is 18. 21 minus 18 is 3. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. 33 divided by 9. We're going to go for 3 times 9 is 27. Subtract, I get 6. Bring down my 3. 63 divided by 9. Let's try 7. 7 times 9 is 63. 0, no remainder, nothing more to bring down, so my answer is 237. Are 233 and 237 close? Yes, so this is a reasonable answer. All right, that's how we're going to divide and how you're going to multiply. There are a couple more lesson practice problems on your page if you want to do a few more just to get the hang of it, and then dive into your assignment for today. And of course, let me know if you would like some help.